Buckle up, because your Chief Energy Officer is about to light up the stage. Please welcome Rebecca Ahmed, award-winning international speaker, certified coach, and the high-voltage force behind the Energy of Success, known as the GSD, because her energy gets stuff done. Rebecca helps teams and leaders unlock motivation, shift mindsets, and actually enjoy the work they do. She's the oldest of 11 siblings, yes, 11, so managing chaos with charisma is in her DNA. One audience member put it best: she's a shot of vitamin C, bright, bold, and absolutely essential. If you're ready to stop going through the motions and start showing up with purpose, get loud and give it up for Rebecca Ahmed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I got it.
Got it.
I'm okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. You never know when it comes to hospitality, clearly. But hospitality is in our DNA. Being born and raised right here, I got to see it firsthand. Las Vegas was built on it. An entire city known worldwide for the energy of its entertainment, the glitz and the glamour of its larger-than-life attractions, and come on, y'all, unforgettable guest experiences. Now, some of you may know this, but many of you may not, because we're such a transient city. But the name Las Vegas means the meadows in Spanish, because our beautiful desert oasis was once home to natural springs and lush landscapes, a resting spot for travelers along the old Spanish Trail. But as our city evolved, so did our resting spots. To start, natural springs, lush landscapes, and rest are probably the last words any of us would use to describe the Las Vegas we know today. The Las Vegas we know today is what Fontainebleau embodies. As your original founder, Morris Lapidus, once said, "If you build a stage and it is grand, everyone who enters will play their part." And that's what this space is, a grand stage for each of you to play your part. But what is your part? Every single year, around 40 million visitors come to Las Vegas. Travel brings these visitors to our city's door. Hospitality is what turns their stay into a guest experience. It's the way you make a person feel that turns that trip into a memory. And these come from the kind of stories you create, the ones that make someone feel something, remember something, or even rethink something. That's your part. That's the magic of hospitality. It's not just service, you all know this. It's an experience, a connection, an energy. But here's the rub. Creating these experiences can be a lot less energizing than actually experiencing them. If you are in sales, you are fielding back-to-back calls, customizing packages, and closing deals, whether it's for a high-stakes annual convention or a birthday party that needs that little white glove touch. And if you're in operations, we've got catering and convention services. We've got banquets here. You all are the heartbeat of the operation, constantly juggling floor plans, menus, and minute-by-minute details, all to execute on a seamless experience on a massive scale. And if you're in charge of handling weddings right now, you're not just managing a big event, you're balancing big expectations for even bigger ideas for someone's once-in-a-lifetime experience for her fourth time. Let's be honest, The pace can be relentless. The bar for excellence is 5-star, and guests continue to expect more and more for less and less. Between nonstop site visits, overnight BEO changes, we've got last-minute room blocks, and a mother of the bride texting you at 6 a.m. to say, oh, her baby girl needs to be flown in on a helicopter. Your own energy can start to run on empty. And this is when you might ask yourself, is this sustainable? And is it even worth it? In a world of constant change and high expectations, how can you channel your energy to stay inspired, connected, and do your best without feeling depleted? Your greatest asset, the one that quietly fuels your business strategies, your relationships, and your success, is something y'all give to guests every single day. But in that rush to perform, serve, and deliver, you often forget to prioritize it in yourselves. Sometimes it takes an unexpected moment, a song, a stranger, a memory, to remind us what's most important, the things that bring us back to what matters most, often come when we least expect them. And for me, that was at the Acamel Monkey Sanctuary. You see, it was January 1st in Tulum, Mexico. And little did I know, what started as this adventurous trip with my girlfriend became a pivotal moment that unveiled an unforgettable surprise. And it's now one that I get to share with audiences like you worldwide. You see, the Acamel Monkey Sanctuary takes in all sorts of rescues, supporting over 200 specimens from 55 different species. And as we were toured throughout the various enclosures, our tour guide, Oscar, he shared each animal's history and origin, health updates to note, and of course, how the sanctuary came to be, ultimately leading us to the highlight of our visit, the Monkey Sanctuary. Now, Oscar warned us we were about to see some highly unusual behavior. Spider monkeys were standing on 2 hind legs like humans. And you probably don't realize this because it takes a minute to process, but they're usually down here. And when they stand up, they are ginormous. And as we're going around this cage, wrapping our head around this, we start to realize these little boogers start mocking us. One of them leans back and pretends to drink some cups of coffee. And another monkey runs forward and pretends to put on lipstick. We all were like, whoa, bro, Oscar, fill us in. What is going on? What are we seeing? And finally, he gave us the tea. You see, just a few years earlier, the sanctuary had received a female monkey from a traveling circus. Mimi had been taught how to perform human activities to energize her audiences. Therefore, she learned how to stand like a human, walk like a human, drink cups of coffee like a human, and even put on lipstick. Now, when the caretakers heard of Mimi coming to the sanctuary, they did not want to introduce her to the other spider monkeys. In fact, they didn't even want her near that cage. What if she were shunned for her un-monkey-like behavior? What if she endangered their entire ecosystem? Honestly, the sanctuary was just fraught with uncertainty, and they were like, you know what? We're going to have to test it. Let's just see what happens. And they hoped that the other monkeys, monkey see, monkey do, would teach Mimi how to behave like a monkey. And they preserved, or I should say they presumed this to be correct. But to their surprise, Mimi taught all of the other monkeys her circus acts. And that's what we were seeing right before our eyes. Now, I laughed with the other tourists, but it really got me thinking. What if the sanctuary never introduced Mimi to the rest of the spider monkeys? Suppose they stuck to their traditional views of monkey-like behavior. They might have missed the opportunity to experience how she enhanced the group dynamic, which ultimately led to that sanctuary's notoriety and success. Initially, they believed that isolating poor Mimi was their safest strategy. Thankfully, they realized that the real misstep was underestimating the value of her differences and the energy those differences bring. By shifting their perspective to embrace Mimi's diversity, they not only transformed that sanctuary, but they tapped into new sources of energy, a challenge that many organizations face today. Think about it. Why do your clients choose Fontainebleau? Is it because of your gorgeous venue? Well, of course that helps, you all know that, but we have beautiful properties up and down the Strip. Is it your proximity to the convention center? I'm sure a lot of us really love avoiding Trop and Flamingo, but it's probably a coin toss for most of your guests. Your guests choose Fontainebleau because of you. The energy you bring to every single guest interaction, which is fueled by your culture. And your culture empowers ambition and expression. It fosters growth and ignites personal aspirations. Let me tell you, saying your culture as a keynoter, whoo, that is a tongue twister. But that's your differentiator. That energy, that culture, that's what turns an everyday event into an extraordinary moment. One that guests don't just remember, but they feel in their hearts. But let's be honest, creating that energy again and again and again to deliver is no small feat. Humans, like monkeys, are hardwired to resist change. But if you're willing to create that shift, you can tap into something powerful and lasting. This is where you get collaboration, synergy, and a level of service that your guests don't just remember and feel, but a level of service that both you and your guests can completely rethink. And guess what? It's more achievable than you think. Because if a monkey can do it, all of you all then can definitely do it. Okay, so you've heard me say the term energy quite a few times today, and as Danielle announced, I am your Chief Energy Officer, but we often have a hard time coming up with a single definition when it comes to that word energy. Yeah, I can tell. It's a little thought, right? In fact, if I asked you all to write something down, I'd probably get a plethora. So let's just take a moment and kind of flesh this out, starting with the history. Okay, so for centuries, energy was barely understood by humans. In fact, it wasn't until the Industrial Revolution that humans started to perfect that art of energy conversion. And this ushered in an era of fossil fuels, electricity, and steam engines, and it changed the world as we knew it. And then every few decades, we stumble upon more abundant sources of energy, like solar and nuclear, reminding us that energy is not only all around us, but it's likely free of charge. But we have one form of energy we have yet to fully tap into, and that is personal energy. Think about it. We have built machines that operate off of steam and coal, but we have yet to build workplaces and lives built off of true human battery. And that, my friends, that's the next energetic revolution. So, let's start with the definition. Scientists define energy as the ability to do work. And we're all familiar with various types. I just said them: chemical, light, heat. But these types, they can be broken out into two forms. We have kinetic energy, which is working energy. And we have potential energy, which is stored. Now, the beautiful thing about energy is that it's convertible. So we can use these same principles that scientists use to better understand our own personal energy. For example, when you walk into a restaurant, or even when you all walked into this conference room, y'all assessed how comfortable you felt based on the ambiance or the atmosphere, whether it was the energy of the collective group or the gorgeous environment. And we all know what it's like to walk into a room and experience someone's negative energy. You're like, whoa, get away from me. But if someone's coming in hot, they can light up a room. You probably call it a vibe. I like to use that term, zeal. But the truth is, before you even say a word, your energy is transmitting messages all around you. And the way you feel about yourself becomes part of those messages you transmit. So, how do you gain control of what you transmit? To start, you must understand that the energy you put out into this world is based on the way you see things. And you see things, and how that's forged is based on your biology, your biography, and your beliefs. To bring this to life, I have placed a pair of glasses in front of you, and they are all different colors, and I'd like you to place those glasses on. Let's see what we got here. Pop those glasses on. If you want to take a fun little selfie, feel free, have fun. All right, I think I got everyone on. He's like, what color is? All right, so if you are wearing rose-colored glasses, what color are you seeing the world through? Red, rose? Do we got any red glasses in here? Okay, what color are you seeing the world through? Red, okay, there we go. All right, and if we've got magenta colored glasses, what color are we seeing the world through? Magenta, I've got magenta too. Okay, perfect. The lens through which you view this world, it tints everything that you perceive. Therefore, if you're wearing green colored glasses, and I define green as positive, the world that you get to view the world from, it's positive, and you get to experience all of that yummy energy. But if you're wearing, what do you got, a pair of orange over here? If you're wearing, let's say, orange, is that in front of you? Orange glasses. And I define, if I define that as negative, I'm so sorry, sir. But the lens through which you view that world, it's going to be negative. And I'm going to cause you to feel a lot of crappy energy. Now, we're all familiar with positive energy and this negative energy, but the effects are actually constructive versus destructive. And I actually like to compare our energy that's constructive and destructive to the battery in our cell phones because we're so closely connected with them. In fact, bring those bad boys out. Bring your cell phones out. It's probably the only time a keynoter is going to tell you to do that. And you can keep your glasses on. You can take them off, whatever you want. Have fun with them. But bring those cell phones out. And I want you to take a look at your battery. And I know you probably just saw a text or an email, and you're like, oh, squirrel. Just regroup right back here. Now, you know if you look at your phone, if your battery is charged 100%, it can do anything. Yeah, you can take pictures, you can edit your pictures, you can use, your apps, your navigation. Essentially, your phone operates at 100%. Humans are the same. When we are well-fed, well-slept, taking care of our physical, our emotional, and our mental health, we can operate at 100% because we constantly are fueling this constructive energy. Now, destructive energy has the opposite effect. It pulls from that stored energy and it derives from stress. So just like when you unplug your phone from a charger, you'll notice your battery starts to go down. And we all know various applications pull different amounts of energy. You use your navigation on your phone, drains your battery. You got a kid, they want to play a game on your phone, they're going to drain your battery. Well, the kid just might drain your battery, but either way, batteries are drained. But if you continue to use your phone throughout the day and not plug it in, what you'll notice is that some apps will just stop working because they don't have enough charge. They start bugging out. And then your light will start to dim. And then we all know that notification. Low power mode. Because if you don't plug your phone in, it will no longer work. And humans are the same. And unfortunately, we're operating on low BAT, which is enhancing our emotional reaction to stress, causing us to experience that lens of destructive energy in our thoughts, in our emotions, and this is driving our actions. And we all know what this looks like because we all experience destructive energy within ourselves. I mean, some more than others, but we all know it. Let's explore how some of these energies might be showing up for some of you. We've got ego-driven energy, anxious energy, overextended energy. Let's not forget that checked out energy. Now, let's dive into them a little bit further. All right, ego-driven energy. We all know what this is like. This is when someone pushes hard to close a big deal, but they sideline their team's wellness, causing a complete chaos in their wake that everyone has to fix. And then there's anxious energy, the energy that kind of erodes confidence and burns time, causing tension amongst your teams when really that energy should be used to elevate the guest experience. And then who here has completely just poured everything of themselves into a magical, memorable moment, only to feel exhausted at the end of the day? We do it all the time. The problem is we forget to set ourselves up for success on that front end, leaving us feeling drained. And then there's that checked out energy. We just had summer, right? When it gets a little slow, this is the kind that creeps in and pulls you away from your A game, rather than keeping you motivated and proactive throughout that slow season. These four tough energies, ego-driven energy, anxious energy, overextended energy, and checked out energy, they can show up in us at any given time. The first step to gaining control is just simply recognizing them. The second is getting curious as to why they're showing up, because from there, you can create an energetic shift. So, why are they showing up for us? Why are these destructive energies coming forward? Two reasons I'll tell you. To start, our brains are actually designed with the safety detector built in, stemming from the amygdala. And yes, this is how I see the amygdala. Essentially, your amygdala is running around in your brain and it's checking out everything. And as soon as it experiences something different, which will differ person by person, it says, ah! And it either invites that limiting belief in, that's that little inner critic that many of you might say, oh, it tells me I can't do this, I'm not good enough. Or it invites in a bias where you lead with judgment and you start looking at other people and saying, they can't do this, they're not good enough. And the second reason why destructive energy comes up for us so often is because honestly, we just have too much information coming at us at any given time. Told you all you were in the splash zone over here, right? Gave you a little a little heads up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this fun confetti cannon over here on this table. And what I'd like to do is see if you all can catch as many pieces sitting down, and we'll see how many they can catch. Everyone ready for this? Yes? All right. All right, y'all, hands up. And my hands always get sweaty at this part, so we'll have to see if I need a hand at. Oh, ah, there we go. This is a metaphor for how many pieces of information are coming at us at any given time. As you can see, you can't catch that many. Scientists estimate that around 11 million pieces of information are coming at us, yet we can only process 40 to 50. No wonder we're so frustrated and exhausted. So now that we have defined constructive and destructive energy, and we've explored how destructive energy shows up for us and why, now we get to jump into solution mode. And this is when the fun begins, because we get to take all of that destructive energy and convert it to constructive momentum. And we're going to do this leveraging my 5 energetic success principles. Now, each of you have a piece of paper in front of you. This is what that piece of paper looks like. I want to just walk through this. You will see at the top the 5 energetic success principles listed. This is just to help you as you follow along. If you're looking for more examples, you will find those in my book, The Energy of Success, which you can scan that QR code later. But today, what I wanted to share is I wanted to curate this experience. And your leadership team shared some really great insights of things that will really be valuable for you. So I hand-selected those stories to ensure that they really land. And we're going to dive right in. All right, energetic success principle number 1. Leading with love or care. Now, when it comes to energy, what often drains a person's passion, whether that's in their workplace or in their personal lives, is that somewhere along the way, we stop leading with care. It's human. We have a tendency to want to jump into something, we get super excited about it, but then as the days go on, we start going into autopilot mode. Why? Because somewhere along that way, we lost sight of what we value and what we care about. The best way to lead with care, honestly, the only way, is to actually care. It sounds so simple, right? But as we go through the days, we just start going through the motions. And it's not because we don't give a damn. It's because we forget to stop and connect what we're doing to what we personally value. And when that connection is missing, your energy drops. So, let's see what this looks like a little further. I'm going to share a fun little personal story for you so you can kind of see what this looks like. My dad, this is a fun story. My dad, he has no idea I make my living as a professional speaker. So much so, he tells people I'm an accountant. Why? Because my dad believes, Rebecca, there are only 3 jobs worth pursuing in the United States of America. You see, my dad immigrated from Pakistan in the 1970s. He's about yay high on a tall day. And he has the most beautiful, thick Pakistani accent that I absolutely love and cherish. And he speaks to his children, yes, all 11 of them, like he speaks to his patients. He is wise. His energy is calm. He is the guru, and we shall listen. So when I asked my dad, what should I be when I grow up? Here's what he said. Rebecca, you are the oldest of all of the children. You will follow in my footsteps, and you will become a doctor. Americans, they value their health, and Americans, they value their money. So you know what, my darling? You take care of their health, and you take their money. Y'all, I was 16. I was like, Dad, I can't even get my blood drawn without passing out. How am I supposed to become a doctor? What else you got? Rebecca, this country is very, very litigious. You saw what your mother did to me in that divorce. She took me to the cleaners. Yes, yes. You become an attorney and you protect my assets from your mama. I was like, whoa, Dad. I don't have that competitive energy in me. Nothing against attorneys. But I love to love. What else you got? Congratulations, Rebecca. You are going to become an accountant. You will know how to make your money and you will know how to manage your money. It is settled. Yeah, I'm not an accountant. But to make my dad proud, I did genuinely explore each of the paths he outlined. But despite my best efforts, it became real clear. I wasn't cut out for any of them. They just didn't energize me or align with my passion and my purpose. And I share this story with you because I learned early on that what I valued in a career very much different than what my dad had in his values. And I followed my love of hospitality, which led me to this amazing industry over 20 years ago. But what if you don't know what ignites your passion or your purpose? What if you don't know your why? What if you don't love hospitality? Now really, what if you entered into this industry, hello, it's Vegas, and you find out you're not that hospitable? Don't freak out. I'm not going to tell you to quit your job and go raise alpacas. What you need to do is connect some dots. The key is connecting what you love, what you care about, what you value, to the task in front of you. This is how you rewire your approach to motivation. So, what might this look like in your world? Danielle shared some really fun things that you all love to do, so let me see which one I want to pull through. Ooh, what if I asked you all to do forecasting? Oh yeah, I felt it immediately. You all started going into that destructive energy zone. When you feel yourself going there, especially if I mentioned forecasting, this is when you're going to ask yourself. You'll stop going into that zone and say, wait a minute. What value of mine, what do I care about, what do I love that I can leverage to energize my interest in completing that task? Now, one of my other values is inclusion. Y'all heard I'm the oldest of 11. Everyone gets to come to the table. And so I might ask myself, how can I leverage my value of inclusion to excite me to complete forecasting? And from there, I'm going to start brainstorming, and a lot of ideas will come forward, and I might say, let's build a collaborative group of inclusive people from all different departments, and we all approach forecasting together. That'll be so fun. Another idea might be that I say, what if we look at forecasting through an inclusive lens, mixing in different, mixed markets? These are ways I could leverage my value of inclusion to excite me to complete that task. Now, you'll need to see which values resonate with you, and if you want to walk through this, we're doing a Q&A after, and I'm happy to coach you through how to bring that forward. But this is the key, connecting what you care about to what you're doing. When you do that, even the most minute tasks can energize you versus drain you. And when you figure out how to do that again and again within yourself, you can start helping your team do that too. And that leads us to energetic success principle number 2, cultivating curiosity. Now, we just walked through leading with love and care, energetic success principle number 1, on how to energize your values within yourself. But here's the thing, most of you don't work alone. You work with other people. So your energy doesn't stop with you, it ripples onto your team and ripples onto the guest experience. This is why it's so important to cultivate curiosity. You need to know what those around you value, or it drives them nuts. Because if you don't know that, you could be doing something every single day and you just think you're all happy, and you're driving someone crazy next to you. So, we're gonna have a little fun with this one. We're gonna play a game called rant or rave. And what I'd like to do is call 8 people to the stage from different departments to have a little fun with this. So feel free, jump on up. Let's see who jumps up here. We got 8 people coming up on stage, and I'm going to grab the game cards. So let's see. Don't be scared. All right, let's go. Come on forward. All right, we've got 1, 2. Who else we got? Come on up. You get to have a fun little game. All right, we've got 3. Which other departments need to be represented? All right, we got another one, 4. You have been voluntold, sir. All right, how many more do we need? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more. All right, 7. One more. Who are we missing? You let me know, Danielle.
Sales coordinator.
Sales coordinator? Okay.
That's all right.
Come on in. All right, everyone give them a round of applause, please. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so here is the deal. I'm going to actually go here because it'll be easier so I can explain. All right, so here is the deal with this game. Has anyone heard of rant versus rave? Ooh, this is exciting because no one's heard of it. Okay, cool. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to say a word, a value, and the first person who resonates with this word is going to jump in this center, and they're going to either rant, say everything they hate about that word, or they're going to rave, everything they love about that word. And as soon as they're going, ranting and raving, the moment someone else hears a word, any word they say, that you resonate with, that gives you energy, whether it's good or bad, you're going to push them out of the way, and you're going to jump into the center, and you're going to start your rant or rave. I hate this, or oh my God, I love this. And we're going to keep it going. All right, this is where we're going to see what excites your team, what drives them crazy, and we're going to see how we can get some friction maybe removed in this. So I'm going to start with the value, my value, since I brought it forward earlier, of hospitality. And go. Whoever wants to jump in.
I love the service piece. I love all of you. I love taking care of my clients. I love Symbiotica. I love doing contracts. I love doing turnover reports. I love my sales team. I love my leadership. Carmen is fantastic. I love making money. I love bonuses.
Money, not all right, go for it.
I love money.
So she loves money.
I love money. I love that it pays my bills and it gets me out of debt, but it also gets me back into debt. I love that I can travel.
Nobody wants to rant on debt. You all like debt? I keep seeing you going. Keep going, keep going.
I love the smell of money. I love the money in my wallet. I love that I can spend clothes on money. I can travel with money.
There we go.
Clothes, I'm a huge shopaholic.
There we go.
Every week because I just shop so much. I'm either buying shoes, clothes, vacations that I'm currently going stressed about, having to plan for it, planning. Somebody.
I love to travel too. I like to go on vacations just like her. But what I love is that when I'm traveling for work, I get to include my vacation in there. So it's a business of pleasure. And then what I love about traveling is also meeting other people in different cultures, traveling to different countries. Anyone jump in?
Meeting other people. Meeting other people, I love it because it gives you opportunities, it gives you a connection, and it gives you a chance to develop and learn and experience new things. You never know what kind of person you could come across and what door they could open up for you. I love traveling as well, and I also love to make eye contact with people. I love to walk by people and say hello. I like to.
Come on, Louis, he's giving you good ones. Come on, Angelo.
I love when people are complimenting me, and I love complimenting people. All right.
I love complimenting other people. I love making people smile. I like brightening up everybody's day. I enjoy seeing other people take care of each other.
I love that. We're going to end on taking care of each other. Please give them all a round of applause. But before you go, hold on, don't go down. I'm going to give you all a little gift just to say thank you. You all get a copy of the book. Thank you for volunteering or being voluntold and participating in this activity. Thank you. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And here you go. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, give them a big round of applause for their participation. Now, the takeaway, I would say there's two takeaways from this. This was a new one. The takeaway is when you learn what those around you value, what they love, and also what drives them crazy, but no one wanted to share that yet. So that tells me that's a little nervous. You can start diving into that a little bit better. But when you learn this, you can start aligning on strengths. You can remove any of that unnecessary friction, and you can start creating an environment where energy flows versus stalls. This is when you will see clashing on your teams turn into collaboration. Because cultivating curiosity, energetic success principle number 2, what it does is it takes all of that friction and turns it into synergy. And this is going to take us to energetic success principle number 3. And this is about practicing presence. Who here is familiar with Ritz-Carlton's empowerment budget? Is anyone familiar with this? Okay, Danielle is. A couple of you guys. All right, great. So let's get everyone on the same page. In 1983, the Ritz-Carlton created a policy granting every single employee up to $2,000 per guest per incident to either fix a guest problem or enhance the guest experience. This presence to that guest experience is what has created stories people talk about in our industry all day long. Like in the Bear, when the Ever restaurant had a Chicago pizza brought in because they overheard that their guest was disappointed that they didn't get to try one before leaving Chicago. Or of the guest room attendant from the Ritz-Carlton who flew all the way to Atlanta from Hawaii to personally deliver someone their laptop because she knew they had a big, important meeting the next day. Now, you will need to confirm your empowerment budget with your executive team. But let's be honest, a pizza costs next to nothing. These are the stories we all love being a part of because they're 5-star stories. And the difference between 4-star service and 5-star service is that attention to detail and anticipatory needs. Now, does this mean that you need to go become Inspector Gadget or you need to become a mind reader? No. This means you need to practice presence. And the great thing about practicing presence is it's not adding something to your to-do list. It's not something you need to do. It's about being in tune with your surroundings. So here's my challenge for you. How creative can you get if I were to give you an unlimited empowerment budget? The twist, it's not about how much money you spend or how extravagant you can be. It's about creating the biggest impact for the smallest cost. Danielle, when we follow up next week, I want to hear what ideas come out of this because I would love to see how creative the group can be. And I will share with you all, back in my sales days at Win, our team would have had the winning ticket. You see, we had a potential client and their meeting planner was coming to do a site visit for us. And we learned, as she was traveling to Las Vegas, she was missing the birth of her grandchild. So we jumped onto social media, popped onto her daughter's page, and pulled out all of those pictures of those first moments, and we printed them out. And we put them all over her hotel room. When she walked in, she got to experience all of those first moments. Cost next to nothing. It meant everything. This is why presence is such a gem of an energy. You not only win the deal, but you win their loyalty because you win their hearts. And that takes us to energetic success principle number 4, the principle of detachment. Who here recalls what happens when Danielle so nicely introduced me to the stage as Lorenzo had a piece of, or some waters ready for me? What happened when we were announced today? Yeah, Trey just completely crashed. For a speaker, that introduction, my first impression to you, served with a side of chaos. Yep. Now, I could have let that Trey completely crash my entire talk, but I didn't, because I leveraged the principle of detachment. You see, we never know in hospitality. You and I can map out every single event. We can rehearse our delivery, and we can plan for scenario after scenario after scenario. But no matter what, life will always drop a Trey right in the middle of it. I knew that ruined my beginning, but I knew it wasn't going to ruin my end. And I definitely wasn't going to let it ruin your guest experience. So, to detach, as soon as that Trey dropped, I paused, took a deep breath. And in that pause, I completed the 4 following steps. Step 1, acknowledge what just happened. Holy shit, Rebecca, the Trey just dropped. Step 2, acknowledge my energy. Remember those destructive energies we talked about earlier? Oh yeah, I went straight to them. I was like, the Trey dropped, and so will I. No, Lorenzo! Step 3, detach from your story. This is the principle of detachment. What are the facts? The Trey dropped. What was the story and the fictitious story I created? Rebecca, you are not the Trey. This does not need to ruin your whole day. It's time to detach. Step 4. Step forward. Rebecca, you are a professional speaker. You are here to energize this audience. Now, it takes practice to do these 4 steps quickly. Luckily, I mess up a lot, so I get to keep putting it in, and you can do it faster and faster and faster. But this is the power of the principle of detachment. You get to leave all that chaotic energy behind, and you can step into your own. And that takes us to our final principle today, energetic principle number 5. Inspire possibility. How often do you get to give someone a yes? We get to do it all day long. It's so exciting. And I say get to because we inspire possibility from hospitality. It is so much more energizing to give people a yes than to give them a no all day long. It's that inspiration of possibility that turns our service into art. Sometimes abstract, but nonetheless. But when's the last time you gave yourself a yes? A yes to slowing down and being present. A yes to being grounded instead of anxious. A yes to moving forward instead of ruminating on the past. We're a lot harder on ourselves than we are on our guests. But here's what the research shows. When a person creates an energetic shift from that destructive energy to constructive energy, their engagement at work can jump up to 51%. Their sense of work-life harmony, that increases to 81%. And your workplace relationships can start to enhance up to 44%. Y'all live in the numbers. Can you imagine what this shift can do for you, your teams, and the guest experience? And the beautiful thing about possibility is that as soon as you get that going, it's contagious and powerful. And it can light up an entire room. So let's see possibility amplified. I'm going to invite one person from every single table to stand up and put their light on, just like this. So feel free, pick a person, stand up, put your light on. One person at every single table. You're all getting up, so you can just jump up now, yep. If you're next to them, I want to see you amplifying. Put your light on. I want to see this whole room lit up. Let's get them next to them, next to them. If you are next to a person with the light on, I want to see another person. Stand up and put your light on till we get this whole room lit up, baby. Keep it going. There we go. There we go. Almost got everyone. We're down. Okay. All right, look around this room. This is how powerful your energy can be. You all are the lights of Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. You are what turns possibility into reality. So hold your lights up high, and I want you to step into that possibility, because you all are putting forward the energy of success. Thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause.